Hi, Gina. Let's talk about a little bit briefly about how you got here to the Visalia Rescue Mission.
Well, as usual, I was kind of on a destructive path. It's kind of chaotic, and I was the only one that didn't realize I had a problem. There was conflict, of which I created, and I ended up being on the street, and basically I just kind of wandered around. I guess maybe I was kind of punishing myself. One day I literally walked into a liquor store, and I heard a voice, and I'm like looking all over for this person, and it ended up being the lady that ran it, and she was up top, and she said, "Can I help you, hon?" And then I said, yeah, please." And then she came down, and I said, "I'm looking for a shelter or something." And she's like, "All right, let's look it up." So she used her phone, and she got phone numbers, but we kept going back to the VRM. And I thanked her, and then she wrote all the information down for me. She was really sweet. And then I wandered for a few more days, and then I was going by Rescue Treasures, and it didn't click, and I saw VRM. I've seen that before. And so I went in and asked if it was associated with the Visalia Rescue Mission, and they said, yeah. She gave me a pamphlet. Walked around a few more days. Then I see my daughter first thing in the morning. She was driving around. They're kind of looking for me. And she said, "Where do you want to go?" And I showed her the brochure that I had. And so she brought me there. I just broke down it was here at the community center. And it was Rosemary, and I believe Corey was there. And I was just crying. I was just like a blubbering idiot. But basically, she goes, "You know what? Miss Annette's across the street." And I didn't know who that was, but she brought her over, and Miss Annette's like, "Are you ready to change her life?" And I'm like, "Definitely. I can't do this no more." And so she took me over to the House of Hope, and I stayed in the safe room for a bit, and then I got into program, and I was able to stay for a bit before program. So it's been over a year since I've been with you guys, but I knew I was kind of led. It feels like everything just fell into place.
The moment you surrendered.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Describe some of the struggles that you have overcome since you came into Life Change Recovery Program.
Struggles. I learned some of the struggles. Struggles is I can't do it alone. But for a long time, obviously, I thought I could. That didn't work out well for me. It was a struggle to be still. And it was a struggle trying to always be in control.
Yeah.
And chaos was a struggle for me, because that's what I knew. But I learned how to rein it in, and got a nice little toolbox now.
You do. You've come a long way from when you first came.
And you've talked me through most of it. You've gotten me through so much. You always know what to say and when to say it to where I can understand it, and I appreciate that.
What is one of the answers? What is a prayer that God has answered for you?
Sobriety, clarity, and restoration. Restoration.
What is a prayer that you hold dear in your heart moving forward?
That God continues to walk with me, and that I continue to include Him in my decisions throughout the day. I know I've got Him right here all the time, and I need to learn to listen all the time.
Yes.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
How has God changed your life since being here at the Visalia Rescue Mission?
Well, before I came, I was really isolated. I didn't like people much. I was a caretaker for my grandson. He's special needs. And a lot of things have changed. I've learned how to have friends again. I've learned how to fellowship. I've learned how to that life isn't chaos. It's not chaos.
Is it empowering knowing that you can visibly see the growth? You can visibly see the growth that you've accomplished.
I can see it, but more so I can feel it. It is very empowering, because a year ago I would have never thought that I would be sitting in front of a camera being calm.
Can you describe some of your relationships in the past versus your relationships now? How has God restored things?
Well, before, I had caused so much chaos in my family, my own doing, because everybody else knew I had an issue, but I didn't. I was like, I got this. No, I did not have that. But I have really good relationship with all my kids, my family, and with people in general, because like I said, I didn't have relationships before. It was just me and my grandson. So.
What is one of your favorite memories here at the Visalia Rescue Mission?
I have two. Well, I have a lot, but the first one is more, I hadn't been here all that long, and I had found out that my grandson, the one that I was a caretaker for, was in the hospital with bacterial pneumonia, and it wasn't looking good, and they had him on a ventilator. And everybody, Miss Annette, she sent out word to her prayer groups, and there was a prayer chain. The church I was attending, they prayed. Everybody was praying for me at my work site. The girls, it was like continual prayer, because I almost left. I was like, no, I gotta go be with him, because I didn't think he was gonna make it. He was on a ventilator, and something said, be still, and everybody kept telling me, be still. And I listened, and he ended up being okay. God got him through that.
God took care of it for you.
He did. I just had to listen and be still.
I'm grateful that you did.
I am too, but it helped me, because first, sometimes we struggle with fully surrendering. But he hasn't proven me wrong. He's like always there. And then the other one was, I don't like put my birthday out there or stuff like that. And it was my 1 year of sobriety. And the girls were asking me some weird questions. And they were like, what do you like? And I wasn't entirely sure what they were talking about. So I like Dr. Pepper, I like chocolate, and I like cheese, because I thought it was going to be like potato chips or something. And later on in that day, I guess they had managed to get something together, and they brought me a 12-pack of Dr. Pepper, 0, and they brought me a chocolate cake and 4 different kinds of cheeses. And it was the best thing ever. It was the best gift. It was quirky, but it was the best gift.
If you can go back in time, what advice would you give your younger you?
You cannot do it alone. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And it's okay not to be in control all the time. Give it to God. And don't be so stubborn.
Well, Gina, I just want to say that I'm proud of you. It took a lot of courage to not only look at inward, but just to look toward your future. That takes courage as well. And if you just keep surrendering to the Lord, He will bring you through it.
You've brought me through it too. I hear you. I know you say God's speaking through you. And I know that He is, but it's your words. It's your voice that I hear. And I know it's a combination because you have God in you. And I appreciate everything that you've done.